Welcome to 3D Wings. Today, I'll show you how I use Substance Designer to produce these tiles for our dining table fabric. This is a beginner-friendly shape construction tutorial, so let's get started. Alright, let's begin by creating a new substance graph. First, I'm renaming this to Shape Creation Tutorial, just to keep things organized. For the resolution, I'm setting both width and height to 2048 by 2048, which gives us a nice, high-quality output. We'll also keep it at 16 bits per channel to retain more data in our maps. Starting off with an empty graph now, and we're ready to go. Now let's move into the overview of the interface in Substance Designer. We're going to create a pattern like the one shown in the preview. Although honestly, I might tweak it a little along the way. Let's see how it turns out. This here is the 3D view of what we're building. And these on the side are the parameters and attributes for each selected node. We'll begin by bringing in a basic shape node. It shows up here in the 2D view, where you can monitor how the pattern evolves. Quick tip, you can press the space bar to open the node search menu and pick from various shape presets. I'm using the default square shape for now. I'll adjust the node here. Then scaling it down slightly using the scale sliders to get a more compact form. Next, I'm adding a transformation 2D node. This gives us control over position, rotation, and tiling behavior. Then, I'll rotate it to exactly 45 degrees to start forming the diamond-shaped structure. You can see we can adjust the tiling using the Transform 2D node. Let's adjust the shape first. Right now, we can see it's repeating, so let's go into the tiling settings. Go to the tiling mode and change it to absolute mode and even, and set it to no tiling to make sure it doesn't tile across the canvas. Let's adjust the shape first. Change the pixel ratio to absolute. Now we're adding a shape stroke grayscale node. I'll connect it and then click on mask, which lets us apply this stroke effect only to the shape we want. It instantly changes the style, just like what you see in the video. I'll tweak the stroke thickness slightly to match the look of our reference. You can adjust the shape using the width and height setting you can see in the video. Next, I'm adding another transformation 2D node. This will help us prepare for a mirrored shape or reflection effect. I'll duplicate the square by hitting Ctrl D. And now we have our second diagonal element. After choosing the shape node and adjusting the scale to 0.68, we must transform this square node into a diamond shape. To achieve this, scroll down to rotate it 45 degrees from false to true, as you can see. Now, change the tiling mode to absolute. Same as before, we'll set this duplicated square to no tiling to prevent overlap issues. And then adjust its position and size in Transformation 2D. We'll apply a shape stroke grayscale node and mask it, just like we did earlier with the first one. Now, I'm adjusting the width and height to make sure it fits our design. We want it to reflect the pattern correctly. I think the shape is quite good. It's quite stick. And then I will move to the next step. Let's add one more Transformation 2D node to this second shape. Now it's time to blend both shapes together. Connect the first, smaller square to the foreground input and the second one to the background. Important step here. Change the blending mode from Copy to Lighten or Max. This allows both shapes to be visible together in the result. Now I'll make some final adjustments to width and height so that both squares align perfectly with our sample reference. Now, if we press the spacebar in the 2D view, you'll notice that it opens up a tiled preview, just like the one in our example pattern. To get the full result, we'll need to add one more square layer. I'll duplicate the square again. This will be the outermost line, the third layer in our pattern. Then, I'll add a Transformation 2D node again. We will go back to the square shape then. It's already in diamond shape, so we don't need to do rotation. But we need to do the scaling to 1 point. This will be the outermost line, the third layer in our pattern. So make it 1, and you can see the shape becomes bigger. Then I'll add a Transformation 2D node again, and just like before, we'll apply a shape stroke grayscale. And click Mask to apply the stroke effect. Now let's adjust the width and height according to our reference. And we're going to blend this shape with the previous two. So the first two shapes are going into the foreground, and this new third square goes into the background. And add the blend node by pressing spacebar and search for the blend node. And attach these and change the blending mode to Max Lighten. After that, go to the 2D viewport and press the spacebar, and you can see our tilings. You can see we can adjust the shapes by using the width. But I'm not going to change it because I'm happy with my output. Let's continue to the next step. Let's bring in a fresh shape node. And change the tiling mode to absolute. Set it to no tiling. And after that, now change the pixel ratio to absolute. Now let's change the shape of the pattern from square to disc. Now let's add the transform 2D node. And now, by holding Control, we can resize this disc shape evenly from all sides. Add the shape stroke grayscale, and just like before, we'll blend this with the previous structure. Now we'll adjust the shape a bit more. I feel like we still need some extra space in the composition. And remember, anytime you're blending elements, always change the blending mode from copy to max or lighten. That's how we ensure everything shows up cleanly in the final result. Now the circle is clearly visible in the 2D view, but I think its placement still needs a little tweaking. Let's shift it around a bit. Maybe here? No, not quite. Let's adjust again. Yeah, that seems to fit better. Or actually, I've got an idea. Let's try adding a mirror grayscale node here. I'm hoping it gives us more of a semicircle effect. Yeah, just like that. This definitely improves the balance. It's subtle, but now the flow feels smoother. Honestly, I'm not adding those lines according to our reference because better than the lines, it's pretty awesome. So let's continue with this pattern and we will duplicate this nodes and we will add the circle in the center of the diamond shape. Let's see how it looks. I'll adjust the size and placement, and then, like usual, I'll add a transformation 2D node. We'll blend this new circle into the final composition and place it right at the center point of our layout. Yeah, I think this looks perfect now. This is exactly the final outlook I was aiming for. Here's a look at the 2D version with no tiling turned on. Everything is well aligned and balanced. And with that, we're done. We will add our Substance Designer pattern to this Substance Painter sample file, which is a dining table with plain fabric. Let's add new fill layer. I'm going to use the base color and height. It's enough for this tiles. And black mask the layer. And we will add the fill layer to add our pattern. So follow my steps. I'm importing our tile to the grayscale, and let's adjust using the tiling. You can see our patterns are changing. For the difference, we will change the color. This is how we may use the Substance Designer tiles for the Substance Painter. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I hope this tutorial helped you understand how to build this shape pattern using Substance 3D Designer.